do it with everybody.
Oh, I do not.
Hey, you guys! Look what I found!
Greetings, my friend.
Oh, okay. You know what? I don't think we need to do a recap this time around. If you want to know what happens in the first 3 movies, you can check out the previous videos in this series. Or, watch the movies. I mean, all you really need to do is watch the first movie. That should do the trick because it's more or less the same story in each subsequent film. Just replace Pamela with Jason for parts 2 and 3. Oh, and Jason dies at the end of the 3rd installment. Or does he?
This time they got him.
No, of course he doesn't.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna give you something tremendous.
Oh, hi there. My name is Prostetnic Vogon Jeffs, and it's Friday the 13th. Again! In this video, we're taking a look at the 4th installment of the somewhat inexplicably beloved horror franchise. Friday the 13th, Part 4, The Final Chapter. Directed by Joseph Zito in his post-Prowler and pre-Invasion USA years, Friday the 13th Part 4 was once again supposed to be the final installment in the series. Producer Frank Mancuso Jr., in some sort of Hollywood hissy fit, wanted this to be the conclusion of the franchise. Again, because he felt that no one was giving him the respect he deserved. As a producer.
You will respect my authority!
I guess all that money wasn't good enough. Anyway, Paramount was fine with the idea for some reason. I don't know, maybe they got around to watching the first 3 movies, and gave the go-ahead for the final chapter. Which, as we all know now, wasn't even close to being the final chapter. Unless the word final is just another word for 4. The movie was a box office success despite some initial negative reviews, pulling in $33 million off of a roughly $2 million budget. And once again, it stars a bunch of people you've never heard of before, in roles you probably won't remember. But it also features performances by Corey Feldman, Crispin Glover, Eric Anderson, and Bruce Mahler, for all of you Police Academy and Seinfeld fans. Makeup artist Tom Savini returns, and we finally get a legitimately competent slasher with one of the best entries in the series. So, grab your favorite machete and an ice cold cup of shut the f*** up. It's Friday the 13th. Alright, After 2 movies worth of tedious and pointless recaps, Part 4 begins with a proper, succinct recap of the first 3 movies. There's no point in talking about that any further as we're all very much aware of what's happened by now, but it's nice to not have to sit through 10+ minutes of repetitive garbage before getting into the movie proper. The story begins in the aftermath of the previous movie. Jason's corpse is transported to the morgue of a nearby hospital, where Axel the coroner gets frisky with Nurse Morgan next to his dead body. While making out, Jason's arm falls from the gurney and scares the shit out of them.
Jesus Christmas! Holy Jesus goddamn!
Nurse Morgan storms off back to work and Axel gets his throat slashed with a hacksaw. Shortly thereafter, Nurse Morgan is taken by surprise and gutted in the supply room. Cut to Crystal Lake, the Jarvis family, Mother Tracy, her daughter Trish, and son Tommy. They discuss the house next door, which has been rented out to some teens.
How many?
6?
Well, it'd be nice to have some company.
Okay, we've got Paul and Samantha, Doug and Sarah, and 5th and 6th wheels, Jimmy and Ted. Jimmy is upset that he's been dumped by his girlfriend, Betty, and Ted is happy to tell him why. It's because he's a dead f***.
Oh, I see. Oh, don't hold it back from me, Doc. I can take it. Give it to me straight.
This installment of Friday the 13th finally understands a fundamental law of horror flicks. In order to become invested in the violence, the audience needs to either love a character or hate them. To get any semblance of a cathartic release, you need to be sad to see a character get the axe, or absolutely ecstatic about it. The first 3 movies didn't really understand this aspect of the genre, so most of the deaths felt anticlimactic. But the final chapter gets it right, because we're all gonna be so goddamn happy when Ted gets killed. The teens get a little lost on their way to Crystal Lake. They pass a hitchhiking hippie who is slaughtered by Jason mere moments after they drive by. When they finally arrive at their summer house, they're met by Trish and Tommy.
Handsome much you are. His name's Gordon. I'm Trish. Hi, Trish. Hi.
Later that night, Samantha and Sarah talk about sex, and Tommy loses his mind when Paul and Samantha start making out in front of their bedroom window. The next morning, the teens head out to the lake and meet the Doublemint twins, Tina and Terry, and everyone goes skinny dipping. Chasing after their poorly trained dog, Gordon, Trish and Tommy stroll past the naked teens. Tommy is in heaven, but Trish gives him the old big sister boner block
Tommy, turn around. Oh, come on, can I just turn around?
and rushes him home. On the way back, their car breaks down and they meet some random dude roaming the forest. His name is Rob and he helps Tommy get the car running. So Trish offers him a ride. No, not that kind of ride, you pervert. They drive back to the Jarvis house and Tommy shows Rob his collection of homemade monster masks, which begs the question, what's up with you? Back at the summer house, Jimmy does this to try and impress one of the twins. Oh my god. Insane. Movie or not, I choose to believe that this is exactly how Crispin Glover dances. The night progresses and Paul winds up flirting and dancing with twin Tina, pissing Samantha off in the process. So off she goes down to the lake to get murdered by Jason. Oh my god. Oh man, I could watch this reaction for hours. Paul has second thoughts about cheating on his girlfriend and goes out to find her. He tries to sneak up on her in the lake only to find her floating corpse. He panics and swims back to shore where Jason impales his junk with a harpoon. Hearing the screams coming from the lake, Rob, who has set up camp nearby, leaves his tent to investigate for, I don't know, like 30 seconds? But that's more than enough time for Jason to sneak in and destroy Rob's hunting rifle. Back at the party, Tina is determined to get boned, so she puts her energy into Jimmy, who is happy to take her to Pound Town despite an unattractive lack of confidence. Tina's twin Terry isn't content to get high and watch Gatsby porn, and can't convince her sister to leave, so she takes off on her own. And yeah, she's dead. Tracy? Dead. Trish?
What the hell are you doing here?
What are you trying to do? Kill me?
Whoa, that was a close one. Jimmy?
Ted, where the hell's corkscrew?
Yeah, dead. Tina? Dead.
They're dead.
Man, Jason is not f***ing around this time. Huddled inside of his camping tent, Rob tells Trish why he's camping at Crystal Lake. He's looking for Jason to avenge his dead sister, Sandra Dyer.
A really great kid.
You know, that curly-haired chick with massive rockets from part 2? And Rob is convinced Jason is still alive.
He's alive.
Okay, where was I? Teddy? Dead. Sarah loses her virginity to Doug in the shower, and then... dead. And dead.
They're dead! They're all dead!
Trish and Rob return to the house to check on Tommy. They try to call for help, but Jason conveniently severs the phone line at that exact moment. And even though they were worried for Tommy's safety just a second ago, Trish and Rob decide to leave him alone again so that they can run over and check on the teens next door. Rob ventures into the basement and Trish follows her dog upstairs. Gordon gets spooked and nopes out through a window. And Trish finds Doug's body in the bathroom and goes mental.
He's killed all of them, I know.
She races down to the basement to tell Rob, and they both climb the stairs out of the basement. One of the steps breaks, and Rob decides to go back down into the... Well, hold on, this is just ridiculous. I know an unlit basement can be pretty dark, but what the hell is happening here? Okay, that's the one. That's my favorite moment from the entire franchise up until now. We've got to watch that again. It's so good. Trish takes off and whoa, Trish, what the f*** do you think you're doing? Why are you going back to the basement? Oh, of course he's hiding under the stairs. Trish wails on Jason with her machete and manages to escape, but everywhere she turns is another dead teen on display. You know, Jason sure had a lot of free time to set all of this up. And it's pretty convenient how Rob and Trish made their way into the house without seeing any of this beforehand. Trish makes her way back home and barricades the door with a couple of nails. Yeah, that's gonna work out really well. Obviously, Trish is unfamiliar with Jason's signature move. Now, I suppose Jason could have come through that very same window, but instead he decides to Looney Tunes his way in through the front entrance like it's some kind of prop door. Jason gets a TV to the head, he chases Trish across the street, she jumps out of a window in slow motion, makes her way back to her house, and then tries to fend off her attacker with her machete. While all of this is going down, Tommy decides to shave his head so that he looks like a young version of
Jason!
What? Alright, you know what? Sure. It's the same universe where Ginny distracted the crazed killer by pretending to be his mother. You know, there's a precedent. So it's no surprise that when Tommy confronts Jason, this stupid plan actually works.
Jason, don't you remember? Remember, Jason.
Jason is distracted long enough for Trish to use her machete to remove his hockey mask? Jesus fucking Christ. I guess Tommy's love of grotesque masks pays off, as he picks up the machete without hesitation and buries it in Jason's ugly mug. But something inside the kid snaps when he sees Jason's fingers twitch, and he proceeds to wail on him like an absolute psychopath. Fade to white, another girl sent to the hospital because what would Friday the 13th be without a final girl being sent to a hospital? Oh, and Tommy Jarvis is officially bonkers. The end.
Hey, where you going?
I'll tell you where I'm going! I'm going crazy!
Friday the 13th Part 4 is not without its issues.
Don't worry about it.
There are plot holes you could drive a station wagon through, there are lengthy stretches of boring filler, and there's not a whole lot of development with the lore of Jason or Crystal Lake. But considering the previous 3 movies, it's a refreshing entry in the series. Part 4 and Part 6 are probably the best of the franchise. Now, I'm not saying that they are necessarily the most fun of the franchise, but in terms of an overall package, in terms of well-rounded features that understand the genre and the spirit of the story, they are absolutely top tier. The acting here is a step up from its predecessors, there's a noticeable uptick in gore, the kills are more original and varied, and the boobs. We have got to talk about the boobs. It's almost as if the filmmakers revisited the third film and were like,
Hey, how come no tit?
They course corrected so hard in this one.
What the happened?
We've got nipples flying all over the place. And they weren't content with just having supporting cast boobage. No, they felt the need to add in vintage tatas to blanket the entire frigging runtime. I'm not sure who made this decision, but whoever you are, you angelic bastard, I tip my hat. Even if you can't admit that Part 4 is one of the better entries in the series, you have to acknowledge that it's probably the most culturally significant. Not for its impact on the horror genre or anything like that, the original still holds that title, but rather for the unintentionally prescient way in which it predicted Corey Feldman's mental break from reality. Watching this movie after witnessing the real-world decline of a beloved child star is both eerie and depressing as all hell. It is a powerful reminder of the damage Hollywood has done to countless children over the years. F***ing monsters. And it once again begs the question, what's up with you? What's up with you? Okay, all joking aside, Hollywood is horrible. I love movies, but I couldn't be happier with the downfall of that godforsaken place.
Wow, focus up, dude. You're a foot from the finish line.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I guess that's a rant for another video.
And?
Right, of course. I got a bit lost there. Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, is worth checking out. It's a great movie.
Be honest.
In relation to the other movies in the series, it's a great movie compared to the other movies.
That's better.
They're all crazy!
You tell 'em off!
Would you shut the f*** up?